Don't miss in 26. Check out the highlights for New Comic Book Day March 18th, 2026. DC takes it to the next level with brand new series this week. Greg Rucka returns to continue his tale with Batwoman. Tony Fleeks from Image Comics Farrell gets his hand on Deathstroke. Then chaos reigns with Scotty Young and the main man Lobo. Sentry has a new #1 for the rack this week. Cyclops continues in his solo series. The Death Spiral crossover event continues in Amazing Spider-Man number 24. Creepshow gets super, in a new series. Invincible Universe Battle Beast drops issue number 7. And additional printings abound with Dork, White Sky, Death Fight Forever, and more. The worst deja vu ever. Death at Prom can be examined in the new comic Dead Teenagers. Baby Garfield premieres. And the Road to War event begins in the crossover featuring the Thundercats and Silverhawk. Get what you want, and more, at iwantmorecomics.com.
Oh, Richie, what did you do?
Welcome.
So many comics. What did you do?
There are a lot of comics. A lot of them are actually comics that were out before.
What do you mean?
That count almost is getting to 50-50.
Of between additional printings and
Facsimiles, additional printings versus new comics.
You know what? If nobody had demand,
we wouldn't have it.
This would be so easier, wouldn't it? We'd just save half our time. But you know what? It's fine.
There are a lot of really cool things to grab up and find out. We are talking about the half-hour hype. This is where Keith and I will go through all of the comics that are going to be available tomorrow, but there is a caveat. If you're watching with us today, you can pick these up through our website, iwantmorecomics.com, and join us through the new release section and kind of follow along and purchase at your leisure, picking up the comics in store tomorrow, or you can actually have them shipped to you as well. If you are a Portal member, this will be a big week for you. If you're finding out that you can't do a pickup in store and pay later, that function is no longer available. So make sure to follow along through your Portal. All of the same information is right there. And you can as well just dunk stuff into your hold slot waiting for you when you come in tomorrow or this week.
Nam is here right on time to blame Richie for something he doesn't deal with.
My bad. That's on me, Nam. Sorry about that.
It's definitely Richie's problem that no emails are not there for Nam and all this. So we will blame Richie 100% and move on from there.
I will get on it. Promise. Right after the show, I'll make sure your email's there.
But Portal, guys, for that, I'm going to hit one quick thing on this. There is a major update to the Portal coming tomorrow night. We will have a little bit more details out there for everybody, but if things are as we expect them to work tomorrow night, you should be able to not only see next week's FOC items on there, but also start getting into the March catalog. So we will be working on loading that up over the next week and making sure that it's all there so you guys can get a little bit early. I do warn everybody, the FOC shows, the ones we do on Sunday night, when we load the FOC over the weekend, that is the best time for information. That is when things are the most solid and most put together and are like they should be. When you're looking at it too far ahead, it's a little bit cloudy and you just don't get all the details. Especially you don't get to see all the great variants because the art is probably not even done yet.
The amount of times I have to put TBD is quite often in the
There is a lot out there for that, but that's why we do the weekly shows to keep on top of all that. So, but let's talk about things that are real and now and physical and here, because I see 283 things still in stock and available right now, and that's a big number.
That is a huge number.
I'm pretty sure at some point in time in the show we can start hearing Sean scream from the floor as he tries to fit it all onto the front rack.
Correct. We will talk, might as well get, while it's on the page there are the next wave of absolute additional printings have hit this week. So if you're missing any Flash, Martian Manhunter, or Green Lantern, this is your way to catch up. There are also a couple of highlights in there, like Arc M is getting its additional printing, which was very well received and very sold out quickly. So if you missed that, you can pick it up this week as well.
I think the two other ones that are really to point out for the Absolute Wonder Woman 15 was one that people were chasing late with the appearance of Batman in there and the continuation of that story. And was this a new cover for Arkham, or was this originally a cover? I'm trying to remember on that, Derek Chu. And I feel like
so tough for me because of the way you and I look at comic books. I don't know if that's new or not.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a real quick cheat here and see if the system will behave with me and tell me. I know it's sold out, but that looks like it's new art.
Yeah,
that's new art. So be aware of that for everybody who's chasing down different covers on that one. That will matter in that direction.
Excellent. From there, we'll talk about probably, I know the biggest one that everyone's been talking about. It's from Boom Entertainment, and it's called Baby Garfield.
It's definitely been your number one. That's
absolutely. I think this might be the hottest comic that hits this week.
Hey, wait. You cannot be throwing around terms like hot comic around here and all this and risk our reputation unless you are ready to just back it up with absolute facts.
This is going to be an amazing comic about a tiny troublemaker before he becomes a lasagna loving legend. And that's all I'll say, so I don't get sued.
How much did you practice that? Lasagna loving legend. That's staged.
That's staged. It's fake. There you go. But Baby Garfield did hit the racks this week. If you needed to find the origins of our cat that dislikes Mondays, you can pick it up from Boom Entertainment. Next up, we will jump over to AWA Studios for a one-shot that they're doing. This is basically about a influencer that is trying to teach people confidence. And in the background of one of his videos that he uploads to social media, he accidentally kind of gets evidence of a murder. Then he tries to go in over his head and tries to be like the detective and unlock what had happened. And it becomes it kind of spirals out of control. So what they describe as a sexy Hitchcockian tale of obsession that updates Rear Window for the influencer age. So for those that know those kind of tales, I think this will be pretty fun and eerie with a little bit of a modern twist.
When everybody's talking to us now because of the surge that's happened over the last 2 months of what's a hot book, how do I find the hot books and things like this, I will tell you on this, I would not shy away from this book and say, oh, it's definitely not going to be hot, because it could definitely, if the story's told well, this could gain. But there are a couple little tales to really, like if you're trying to focus, if you're trying to narrow, one shots typically stay a little bit more modest is the best way to put it. It may be a great tale, it may be put all together, but it's not something that the collectability and the long tail of it, like increase its hype kind of thing. So I would still say it's worth looking at if you like this, but necessarily when you're thinking about one shots, those are not necessarily the ones that you're trying to go all crazy on, and this is going to be the $100 book in a week or something like that.
Sure, yeah. Then we will move on to Oni Press and talk about the one that has got a little bit of rumbling around.
Yes.
Dead Teenagers releases this week. It is about a school in 1997 where kids were murdered at prom. And we join these kids being re-murdered over and over and over again as dead teenagers. They basically are living Groundhog's Day on their prom night and being murdered in different and unique ways. I believe at this comic, we join them at a time where something changes for the first time ever, and they don't understand why. They begin trying to figure out how to fix that situation at the beginning of this comic.
Great variants here. Kayla Valerio on this as just a good look for this. Also, we picked up from when we were first talking about it on FOC, the movie homage here for this variant by Caitlin Yarsky, who is also interior artist here. So good looking stuff here. Stein, the Brantonstein variant 2, and also the 1 in 10 version are available.
Excellent stuff there. I think it's going to be a little bit of a burner. And if you need to get it, I would grab it up now.
Yep.
Because this is one of the ones that probably won't make it to Sunday.
I would agree.
From there, we're going to go to Dynamite Entertainment and talk about the big crossover event that begins this week. Thundercats Silverhawks, the Road to War one-shot begins. This is going to be kind of a pretty big committed crossover that they're doing with really cool and unique tales. Crossover events for other publishers are kind of well known, and typically what it is they'll go, oh, hey, there's this other thing happening, and while you're reading your Batman or Superman, one of those issues will be a part of it. With Dynamite, what they've done is they're going to like create actual miniseries that kind of give some weight to this crossover event. You have some more details on that, right, Keith? Like there's a few of them, right?
So this is 3 different books that is running for 5 months. So there will be a total of this plus 15 issues is what the entire story arc looks like. It is being headed up by Ed Brisson, who's on this. So I think we've got some good storytelling to be had. Growing up, I definitely watched Thundercats. I did not see Silverhawks, so I don't know 100% on, like I'm not tied to this myself. But from what I have seen on this is that between Mumra the Ever-Living and Thundercats X Silverhawks, and then them kind of merging into the Thunderhawks, it is the time tale and blending of 2 different universes, societies, things like this are going to lead to some hijinks and some pieces to be fixed and restored to where everything is. But there have been some storytelling inside of Dynamite that's not just quite so soft, just like softballs kind of thing. Meaningful and impactful stories that have evolved characters and all this are being told here. So do we mean that this is going to lead to new status quo afterwards? It's potential.
Yeah, there's a potential, but
I think this is just very much homed in that if you were a fan, then this is going to be fan service.
I agree. I kind of equate it to the Power Rangers effect that they try to write in comic books the way it felt as a kid when you were watching it, not necessarily what you were watching, but the context of which the lens you were watching it through. So I think that there's going to be some really cool things, some weight that doesn't necessarily equate to what was in the cartoons, and a reason to continue enjoying these stories. Potentially world shaping for the 2. I'm not a mind reader or a future. We don't know much about that yet. So we will jump over to those that like the creepy. So we will start with Antarctic Press has honestly, they did a good job at releasing it on time. So Horror Comics Leprechauns is coming out for
that is good timing.
I mean, they nailed it. So that doesn't happen often where it lands on the holiday. But this is a real nasty look at the holiday with very evil and mischievous Irish imps. There's going to be some grossness in this one, so if that's your bag, this guy is also priced at a funny $7.77.
Nice. Very lucky number, huh?
Yes. Then Image Comics has Super Creep Show. Creep has been doing a ton of really cool things, and they typically do genres. This genre will be the superhero genre, so I think that it can kind of open the doors for a few more people to jump into what is a sillier and also dark and terrifying kind of storytelling. But I think this one will have some levity and poking fun at the superhero genre.
Awesome A cover here with the homage to Amazing Fantasy. Just well done there. And this actually, I was really impressed here by this die cut cover. This is the the mask is part of the wraparound on it and all this, and
great.
It's so well done. So keep an eye on those. While we're here, just because it's so adjacent, I am going to use our little button over here for our cover themes.
Sure. Yep.
There was an Invincible cover here by Rossi Gifford for Super Creepshow, but there are many more this week. There is I think this is the largest week of releases for them, with 9 of them out there.
Good.
And just absolutely monsters inside the list for this week here.
There's not a bad one in the bunch. I really enjoy each. I can find something I love about each one. For those collecting all of them, you have my jealousy.
Yeah, very nice.
Continuing a little bit in the dark theme, but not as, I guess, gory, more into the eerie and just kind of goth. We have Dark Horse Comics, Leonide the Vampire and the House of Yonda. Is a continuation of Leonide the Vampire, and I believe it is a 2-part from Mike Mignola and crew.
Mm-hmm. And being written by Mignola here, so you know that he's right at the helm of what goes on here. This will be this month and next month. You get the complete story.
Mm-hmm. Over at Titan, we have another one-shot in the series of one-shots by Roman Dirge. This is Lenore, Blood, and Money, where Lenore is going to be entering the world of Winnie the Pooh. So I don't know if you need more than that, but it is going to be hilarious. I can say it without even looking at the first page.
So good. 4 covers to select from there. This is just going to be a blast. I like how the covers here kind of feel a little almost Mad Max-ish kind of
Yes.
kind of idea going on there.
Over at Marvel Comics, we have one new number 1. The Sentry is coming back with Paul Jenkins at the helm. It's going to be kind of telling the story. I think it is another mini. I think it's 6 issues. I don't know why I think
right.
that.
Yeah,
but I do think that they're going to tell kind of a retelling of his story, up his stakes, and potentially kind of seed him for the upcoming Zdarsky Armageddon that is going to be taking over our Marvel universe very soon.
I am almost certain, almost enough that I would say here, that Jenkins was one of the originals on the Sentry. I believe he did the first 8-part series with Jay Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's who was there. So have a lot of trust that the character's going to be very faithful to what he should be. This this A cover by Alex Maleev has just
gorgeous.
And again, beyond it just being great art, you know the story of Sentry Void, and it just plays so well into the character. So really, really smart for that.
Next up, we're going to go to DC, and we're going to talk about their new Next Level imprint. Next Level is going to be kind of the aftermath of the All In comics and the end of DCKO, kind of opening the door for creators to do more with characters that are typically they've been restricted before, right? The whole point of All In and DCKO, or the Absolute Universe, is the idea where a writer or creator can kind of go all in on a character, doing whatever they want, the idea or story they had in their head, not breaking the character, but like pushing that character to limits beyond what maybe people are comfortable with or have not been tried and true in a financial sense, right? So a lot of risk taking and potential, really cool, unique stories. So what we're going to do is we're going to move away from all of our big top names like Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, and now we're going to move into characters that are kind of like on the shelf, which were in this round Batwoman, Deathstroke, and Lobo. I'll talk a little bit about each one, but Batwoman is the one I'm the most excited for because for those that know the history of Batwoman, Greg Rucka had written and created her with a whole future in mind, and due to some editorial disagreements, he actually left Batwoman to them and just kind of walked away from the storytelling of it. And now he's back. So I'm very excited to see where he takes this story and see what kind of green lights he's been given to kind of continue this story from his original creation. A ton of ridiculous covers on this one as well.
We are huge fans here of Cassandra Cain. The stories that Rucka did tell with her were so well done. JH continued after that. And what you mentioned there, again, Artgerm foil. Do you want Stefan Sajek? Do you want Jorge Corona? Do you want to go high end and get the Sway?
Yeah.
It's a who's who murder list right there.
You cannot miss. The next one, I have the unfortunate news to tell you we are sold out of, but we do have variants. Deathstroke is being reimagined and brought back in to the DCU under the heading of Tony Fleecs from Feral fame. I know Tony Fleecs for his eeriness and his willingness to kind of push things to the limit, which I think works perfectly for Deathstroke. So if that is something you're into, I would jump on these variants. As this store individually, we are already sold out of the A.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were shorted 25 copies on the A. We're chasing to see if we can turn around and find them and get them again. We're just not quite sure about what's what on that. So,
but I'll tell you, the Dan Panosian's the good one anyway. So grab that.
Yeah, Eom, Panosian, Corona, or the high end Fleecs. You know, you're in good hands with any of those.
I saved the most ridiculous for last, as Lobo, the main man, is being brought to life by none other than Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. Both of these guys like to go for the insane, and I think that's exactly what we're in store for on this. It's going to be a bit juvenile, a little crazy, but all fun. I really think that if you're even slightly interested or even excited for the movie coming out very soon, Lobo is going to be where it's at. So this is a probably a must buy for any DC fan.
Yeah, this on the opposite end of the spectrum of Batwoman, but still delivering with the variants here with just the absolute 90s fest here of Mayho and what's offered at this. I think you're going to be looking at a book that's going to have talk and consideration because while many will just think of Scotty Young and the kids variants that he does for Marvel, his writing chops are way up there, have done great things.
Absolutely.
Anyone who's read I Hate Fairyland knows that. Anyone who's read some of that Spider-Man stuff or Cable Deadpool era and all this, you know, like there's a lot going on there. So I think that this could deliver on a high level.
Highly anticipated for sure. While we're here, I will kind of bleed into the next segment that I have, which is new comics that are kind of old but still new. We're going to stay at DC Comics and jump over to what's called now New Titans.
Yep.
So we're getting a name change in the middle of a series because through the ramifications of DCKO, there's been a shakeup in the DC universe. So now we're introduced to the New Titans, which has a whole new lineup featuring people that have not actually been in the Titans before, like Tara and John Kent and Spoiler. I think it'll be really unique, but it is a jumping on point, even though it does say issue 33. This is very much a number one in the sense of opening the door and being introduced to things.
So is this same creative team, or are we on a new creative team here? Do you remember?
I'm not sure. I think I don't want to answer that without knowing, so I don't.
All right, I'm double checking. I just didn't know if you were
go ahead
live on that one there. But obviously, I brought this up here because this cover explains very well the transition of team to where we're at today. It is new creative team. John Layman was on this just before. We're now at Tate Bromble for writing on this. So
yeah, this is a new crew and everything.
Very, very fresh, very ready. and you still have great variants with classic Titans on them here. The lyrics, the Stephen Byrne, they're really going to stand out really well.
Agreed. Then we're going to go over to Image and kind of talk about the same thing. This isn't quite a shift in what it is as much as they're kind of returning after a bit of a break. The biggest one being Invincible Universe that just kicked off their 4th season on Amazon Prime. Battle Beast is getting an issue number 7. When we were sold Battle Beast, we were told 6-part, it's going to be done, 6 issues, just kind of a fresh take. And I had a story in mind and I was done with it. But then Kirkman saw that we needed it. We are starving for more Invincible. And came up with was inspired for new stuff. So we get an issue number 7 and potentially more and more Battle Beast if we all show up for it. A lot of great covers, which has been kind of a consistent for this series. And Keith already highlighted there the one I think is the best, which is anytime I can show off some Todd Father, I do. But yeah, Battle Beast is back. And if you had a great time with the first issue, Battle Beast also, for those kind of remembering, was they're the ones that birthed the idea of a blind bag. And now we're on issue 7. Look at that.
Well, and you've got I really think that I can't overhype the Todd McFarlane cover. When we had the great response to the Marvel Team Up variant that came out on that facsimile edition, and the chase that people are on that, there are lots of people that are regretting that they did not know about that fast enough. So if you are in on that, grab now kind of idea. This is pretty straightforward for that. And at the same point in time, if you start to catch a little bit of a buzz on Invincible because of catching up on the new series, the new season, they did put out additional printings here for issues of Battle Beast here. So you have an opportunity to get right back into the swing of things if you hadn't already.
And then the next one from Image Comics is Lucky Devils has returned. Charles Soule's original works, the creator from 8 Billion Genies. He had Lucky Devils I want to say he did Lucky Devils before 8 Billion Genies, but I could be wrong on that. Either way, it is his storytelling of 2 shoulder devils that are trying to better themselves, and by breaking rules are shattering the thin line between reality, hell, and heaven. So if you were reading it before, it's been a while since it's been out, so don't want you to miss out on Lucky Devils number 7.
Nice.
We will move from there to another one that I'm just highlighting because I don't want you to miss it. A lot of people picked up number 1 for this. Antarctic Press has the Order of Saint Sophia. Number 2 drops this week. And I think it's kind of burning under the radar. It sells very quickly, but if you were looking for issue number 2, I don't want you to miss it, so I'm going to highlight it here.
Yep, good point out.
The other one I want to talk about, which is kind of unique, is Marvel Comics has Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, and they've added Marvel Rivals Time Stream Adventure to it. The Marvel role-playing game has been out for a little while, and this is going to be a Marvel Rivals kind of expansion, changing a few of the characters and stuff for matching their characters in the video game Marvel Rivals. So if you've been picking that up, or you haven't even tried out the Marvel Rivals Multiverse role-playing game, I would give it a shot.
Yep, good RPG book here with great content. These things tend to, if they catch fire in the community, tend to be something that people are going to come back and ask us for many times because, it's just not well promoted as to when these drop. So it's good for us to highlight. 2 additional printings that have been in the works that I know people are looking for. We have Dork 3rd printing from Image Comics and White Sky 2nd printing from Image Comics. Both gigantic books. These guys are not blowing up off the shelves and not increasing in price so far.
So if you were looking for the book and just wanted to read it, or you need to make sure to pick up the unique art that is on both of these issues, I think now would be the time to grab those up, because I don't see them lasting all week long.
No, this is a good point, where if we're able to order the additional printings after we start seeing the hype on the book, we go a little bit deeper normally. More available out there from all your different stores means that it's just not, it's available, and that's what usually keeps pricing down more than anything else. So this is a good chance to get in and check out these stories to find out if you want to be on board, if you missed out when they were sky high pricing.
Then we just ended in time, but I did have 2 runaways, one from Marvel, one from DC. The Marvel one I wanted to bring up was X-Men of Apocalypse. I think all of the covers on that bad boy are fantastic, so give them a once over. Don't miss out.
Yep, Joe Majura, Arthur Adams, the high-end Mana, and all, and even just your base one there. Plus, Mark Brooks gives you one more of his animated styles.
Absolutely. And then DC has Catwoman 85, and Catwoman's been doing it so long that it's almost kind of boring to bring it up, but all of the variants are fantastic.
Can't not bring it up, because they deliver all the time.
Every time. Yeah, so it's just there. It's so good.
Yeah. So really good, solid stuff there that we can still select and choose from there. So we're stocked up on that right now.
So the point being is that you can catch these and more tomorrow morning on the rack, or you can spend some time tonight and get your cart filled up right now and pick it all up tomorrow morning and avoid the rush. The option, as always, is up to you. Until then, this Wednesday, tomorrow, I am back on the screen with Sean Anderson, and we're going to do a stream sale.
Do you think you guys think you have anything good this week?
I'm trying to figure out a way to say be there without being too hype about it, but like let's just say you don't want to miss. Like,
how about this? Be there tomorrow night to even get a teaser about how much bigger it's going to get next week.
Yeah, it's all a ramp up. It's like I have a preview for a big. It's bonkers. The other thing that we have going on Wednesday evening is for my Magic crew. Anybody that plays Magic the Gathering, I'm inviting you to our Discord, where Matthew and I finally settle who's the better Magic player. And some people say that he's a state champion and whatever, but I myself have won a couple Magic games, so I think it's going to be a real fight. But you can learn how to do spell table, play Discord with other people, and we're trying to build our Magic community over there. So please invite your friends, come over, hang out with us. That'll be at 7 o'clock right after the stream sale.
I think we have really good news for you, Richie. I think Kalshi has got you up to 2% chances.
Heck yes. Awesome. I feel like I can. Yeah.
There's some respect being almost shined your way.
Excellent. Yes. I feel like he's been out of the game so long that he's going to have to dust off his stuff. Like the young whippersnapper is going to take it. It's going to be an easy beatdown for me. Come in and join and watch Matt cry.
If you know how to cheat, I mean, you're going to have a good chance.
Right. So. All right, gang. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Have a great new comic book day. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, one and all.
Don't miss in 26. Check out the highlights for new comic book day March 18th, 2026. DC takes it to the next level with brand new series this week. Greg Rucka returns to continue his tale with Batwoman. Tony Fleeks from Image Comics Feral gets his hand on Deathstroke. Then chaos reigns with Scotty Young and the main man Lobo. Sentry has a new #1 for the rack this week. Cyclops continues in his solo series. The Death Spiral crossover event continues in Amazing Spider-Man #24. Creepshow gets super in a new series. Invincible Universe Battle Beast drops issue #7. And additional printings abound with Dork, White Sky, Death Fight Forever, and more. The worst deja vu ever. Death at Prom can be examined in the new comic Dead Teenagers. Baby Garfield premieres. And the Road to War event begins in the crossover featuring the Thundercats and Silverhawk. Get what you want, and more, at iwantmorecomics.com.